Hello Cancer, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your November 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Cancer? What's going on for you? And give it one more shuffle. All right, we have the Death card coming out. An ending of something, an ending to a situation within your life, whether it's good or whether it's bad, okay? Remember, bad situations always have to come to an end and good situations have to come to an end. Some people heal faster than others. I just talked about it within Gemini's reading. You could be dealing with the Gemini. Gemini pulled the Death card as well. So let's clarify this death energy. So the rest of November is things are coming to an end. Things are closing out within your life. Cycles are closing out. So I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals in it. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, so the ending of a bad situation. The Queen of Swords and the Four of Cups in reverse. Wow. You know, almost every single reading I've done tonight has had a legal theme behind it. The Queen of Swords has showed up along with the Justice in a lot of the readings. So the ending of a really bad cycle within your life with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords in reverse represents these swords are falling out of your back. The situation is over. It's as bad as it's ever going to get. You can now move on, but here's the thing, you have the Queen of Swords to give you some sort of justice to help you move forward with the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is in reverse, representing that you are glad to take this cup. You are happily accepting the help from the Queen of Swords right here. Ultimately, I feel like you know that the situation has come to an end, and I feel like you're grateful, but you're wondering how do you move forward. So someone with some sort of legal authority over a situation within your life is going to help process this, okay? And you're going to be very grateful and very happy. So what is this Ten of Swords? What do we need to know? The Six of Swords and the Three of Swords. Here's the thing. The Three of Swords is not necessarily the card of tragedy. The Three of Swords represents you not being able to move forward because you cannot logically see a happy outcome in a situation, all right? Because remember, the swords are all about logic. So it could be like you're looking at someone, say you want to date them, and you're like, well, that person doesn't have a job. That person doesn't have X, Y, and Z. And so you're saying, obviously, that's not going to work out. Then you go to this job over here, and they're saying, well, we can pay you this amount of money. But then you're looking at the cons to the situation saying, well, it doesn't have insurance, it doesn't have X, Y, and Z to it. And so you cannot logically see a happy outcome at all within anything within your life. That's what the Three of Swords represents. So because of that, you kind of go into this like mood where you're very apathetic towards everything. And that's what the Six of Swords is that you're mentally moving to all of these situations with the Three of Swords and realizing none of them are going to work out. And I kind of feel like that's what caused the Ten of Swords. But here's the thing. You have the logic and the intuition of the Queen of Swords coming out to show you a way to move forward. So I kind of feel like you've dealt with an ending. It was a bad situation to be in. However, you're trying to start new ways and new opportunities, but there is no light at the end of the tunnel. But the Queen of Swords is there to illuminate that for you. The Queen of Wands with the Knight of Swords coming out. I feel like this person is very, fiery. Someone who could just move forward and kind of like move mountains. It's a mover and a shaker right here with the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Swords coming out. So Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords. So this person is very logical, very energetic, very capable of pushing things out of the way, saying like, get out of my way. I'm going to trample you. That's kind of what the Knight of Swords is. It's Geminian energy. Especially with this Queen of Wands, this person does not take no for an answer. This person will trample you underfoot. Get out of her way. She is the queen on a chessboard. That is what the Queen of Swords is. She is the logical thinking queen on a chessboard where you have to use logic and intuition to move this queen properly. This queen does a lot of damage, right? However, just because she can do a lot of damage doesn't mean that she can't take a lot of damage, because you can still capture someone's queen in chess, right? So even though she is the quote-unquote most powerful piece because she can move any which way, she still needs her own sort of protection. But here's the thing with this Queen of Wands, she is fiery, she is passionate, she is ready to go. When you're ready, she's ready. And I kind of feel like this person is the one who's going to move you. So with this Four of Cups, we have the Ten of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands in reverse. So here's the thing. I don't usually read reversals in this deck. So I feel like there are some sort of delays, okay? There have been delays within your life. This could be, for example, you've been trying to apply for a disability. This could be, you know, you've been trying to apply for benefits, whatever it is. Be anything within your life. You've been trying to apply for a job. Things are not working out for you. Like, what am I going to do next month? How am I going to move forward? You don't see any which way with the Three of Swords, and you keep having these setbacks with the Eight of Wands. This person is going to push past it for the Ten of Pentacles for you to get you right, to get you set properly. This person, in a way, as soon as they receive the information, it's over. Like, this person is like, wait, what? And then they trample everything out of their way to get you to the Ten of Pentacles. That's what you have to understand, Cancer. This person understands something right here. This person is very well educated in law, rule, this situation. They're saying this Ten of Swords, because here's the thing, the Ten of Swords is fucking tragic, all right? People like, you know, it's fast, it's over, quickly. It's the fucking tragic card. The person, yes, he's not actually quite dead in the artwork. He's dying. He's got 10 swords in his back, and he's looking at the sun coming up over the horizon. He knows that he's dying. The sun's coming up, and he's just looking at it. And he's waiting for it to draw his last breath, but he wants to see the sunrise one last time. It's a fucking tragic card. So that's what you have to understand about this in general. All right? But Cancer, I kind of feel like you're one of those people who's like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You're kind of like Gemini. Gemini also had that. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine energy. No, it's not. Okay? Nope. 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 Okay. We have the Sun card coming out. We have the Hanged Man with the Nine of Cups. Delays and difficulties overcome right here. Seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things and finding a way out with the Wish card. You have to understand that everything played out at the right moment, at the right time. The sunlight is here to illuminate a very happy situation for you. There is hope. There is peace with the Hanged Man. Yes, the delays happen within your life, okay? But the delays are there to slow you down and speed you up so you can align yourself with this person. Imagine you showed up 2 days earlier and that person hadn't even started working there. For example, this could be like a branch manager who's just taking in charge of this branch. And had you shown up 2 days earlier or 3 days earlier, that person wouldn't have been there yet. Maybe you're showing up the same day that that person is there and they get your application. They're like, wait, what? And then things move along. All of these delays had to happen for a reason because, you know, sometimes people, when they start or when they're about to retire, they don't give a shit. They let things slide. They let things go. They don't really care. They're not really focused on making things work. This person knows how to move things. And you will get your Nine of Cups. Let's look at the Ten of Swords. Let's look at this ending. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, Temperance. I feel like, in a way, this is divinely meant to happen to you. I'm not going to say that it is, that it's not. I understand tragic things happen to people, but in tragedy, there is foreshadowing, okay? Because certain things happen with the Seven of Wands, or the Seven of Swords, someone getting away, sneaking off, doing something, you know, very dirty and deceitful, that was meant to occur because the angel came in at the right time and blocked you off to a situation, all right? Yes, you suffered an ending and you suffered a tragic defeat, but here's the thing. The angel is foreshadowing this event to help get you something that you would have not gotten had you not gone through this situation, all right? I'm not saying it's the light at the end of the tunnel, all right? I'm not saying that it was good. I'm not saying that it's, you know, the best thing that could have happened to you, because it's probably not. However, the angel saw fit to turn something that was devastating into your greatest victory with the Ten of Pentacles. All right? With the Nine of Cups, with the Sun. It's that old Bible verse of what the devil does for evil, God can use for good. That's what the angel was allowing. The angel took its hand of protection away from you to allow you to suffer this, through this. So that way it could align you with this mover, shaker kind of person who could connect you with the Ten of Pentacles. And yes, you have all of these delays, but here's the thing. You meet the person at the right moment. That's what the Temperance represents. Coming out of thin air at the right moment to save your life. The Eight of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. Anything that's mentally chaining you down right here will be balanced out with the Two of Pentacles, okay? So I feel like you're going around in circles within your head. You're just sitting there thinking about the same things, going around in circles, not sure what to do. Two of Pentacles is here to balance that out with the information from the Queen of Swords, because once again, she also carries the Ace of Swords. Everything happens for a reason, Cancer, okay? Queen of Pentacles. I still feel like things are okay. They could be better. You're kind of ignoring the situation a little bit. But I feel like if you reached out and asked for help one last time from this Queen of Swords right here, they would possibly help you, okay? That could be, you know, just going in to check on your application one last time, giving a phone call. I feel like that's all you have to do. One last little thing. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, it spins around. You take one action, Cancer. Just one singular thing can change this entire situation. The Judgment. You're called to a higher order. You've been raptured because of this Wheel of Fortune. Something that you've been putting off for a long time, do it now or tomorrow, or, you know, try to get it done by this week. I'd say by this week. No later than the end of the month. It could be a situation that you've been, you know, putting off in the back of your head because it's so traumatic that you don't want to look at it. All right? There are situations that are just so devastatingly awful that you don't want to look at anymore. You're pretending everything is fine. You're like, it's okay. But here's the thing, you're not finding a way to move forward with the Three of Swords. You did suffer the death with the Ten of Swords. All you have to do now is call or do one thing. Send it in the mail. Go in person. Do something like that. And it will change. The Strength card. The Angel of Strength, the Angel of Temperance are out. Shutting the mouth of the lion. That's what the Angel of Strength does. It's Leo energy. You have Sagittarius energy with the Temperance. It closes the mouth of the lion at the right moment so that way you can pass safely through this. All right? So let's look at your Awaken Oracle cards. Tired, sorry. We have Reflect on the situation. I think that's the problem with you, is that you've not given yourself time to reflect on it. You've been doing other things to try to, you know, make things seem happy for yourself. For example, you know, impulse buying things makes you not want to think about a situation, because as soon as you impulse buy, you can play with that for another 10 minutes, right? And then when you get bored or you start to feel those emotions again, you go to YouTube, so you don't have to feel it. And then you start feeling something again, you're like, oh, I'll go take a shower. I got, you know, some new soap anyway. Or you're doing all of these little things instead of reflecting on the situation. Sorry, something's squeaking right here. But if you just focused on the one thing, if you actually just gave yourself maybe, you know, an hour to think about it, I feel like the situation will change for you. You have the Nourish and Flourish. Yeah, if you just focus on it, things will change. There is something I feel like you're overlooking right here, or something you're just not giving time and attention to. You have the Three of Pentacles coming out. You have attention to detail. You have the attention to detail. So maybe you just need to look at it one last time. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, just focus on it one last time. Move forward slowly. Take your time, and I'm not saying that it's urgent, okay? Everyone heals at their own time. Everyone, you know, does things at their own time, their own pace. And I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just saying that for you to move forward, for you to get out of the Three of Swords, what you're going to have to do is reflect on it for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, whatever, and then make the phone call, do that one thing, you know, just, it will change, okay, with the Queen of Swords coming out. So let's look at your Halloween Oracle cards. You have creating through the ashes. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It will change. It will create through the ashes. Remember, death is the death of the phoenix. But once the phoenix dies, it has to be reborn, right? It has to create itself again through the ashes, and that's what's going to happen. You have the Ten of Pentacles coming out. That represents being fully reforged, having the full arch. Because if you look at the traditional Ten of Pentacles and then you look at the Three of Pentacles, it's technically the same thing. The Three of Pentacles is people are looking at this person create this magnificent arch, and then at the Ten of Pentacles, he's done with his work. He's created everything. The Seven of Pentacles is he's seeing himself create, you know, another arch. And then he's created another arch in the Eight of Pentacles. And then the Nine of Pentacles, it represents a garden, but you can represent it as, you know, another arch. And then the Ten of Pentacles, it is the final one. It's the culmination of everything. You can see this grand cathedral, this grand church, this grand spectacle, right? So let's look at your Halloween oracles. We have Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. That's what I'm talking about. You have to take the initiative in this. That's where the fortune is. Black Cat also represents independence in a different deck, in this deck right here. But fortune meets the opportunity. You have an opportunity to move forward. You're not wanting to think about it. Communication, malice. Here's the thing. I feel like your main issue right here is that you think everyone's going to make fun of you if you ask for help. I don't know what is squeaking. I'm like, oh, it's this thing. Okay. You're thinking that everyone's going to make fun of you. All right. I feel like you're coming from that Carrie perspective, you know, where her mom's like, they're all going to laugh at you. That's not the situation. I feel like that's what's plaguing your mind with this goblin malice. Yeah, you have victory over that. Okay. No one's going to make fun of the situation. No one's going to laugh at it. No one is going to even ask any questions, I don't think. I feel like the situation has dragged out long enough. If you explain it, if you talk about it, if you show it up, you know, whatever. If you communicate, there will be not, you know, this, oh, well, maybe you should have done it earlier, whatever. No. All right, so let's look at the communication energy. You have the Lovers. Yeah, you're going to have a harmonious communication. There is not going to be this, you know, grand display of, I hate you, you did something wrong, blah, 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 right? Now let's look at your spellcasting oracle cards. And even if there is, the Queen of Swords steps in and stops that real quick. Even if there is some sort of malice, someone says, oh, you know, Cancer, it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. No, this Queen of Swords is going to be like, no, I've got it. Confidence, compassion. There will be compassion to this situation. You just have to have the confidence to move forward, okay? A lot of people have been getting this, you know, this energy of, you know, this legal system. I don't feel like because you didn't like really have any other legal cards coming out, like a lot of people got a lot of legal stuff. I feel like this is just the head of like, you know, benefits or a job. You know, maybe you're going through one of those disability things that helps people get employment. Like that's what this is right here. Maybe you are talking to a doctor. Maybe you haven't seen a doctor and, you know, a doctor is going to be really compassionate towards you and really care about you, because the Queen of Swords can also be a representation of a feminine energy, but masculine in the masculine field. So that's what I'm seeing for you. There will be compassion. There will be none of this hatred, malice, and maybe people did from your past, and that's what you're afraid of. You could be coming from a very fight or flight instinct right here. I kind of feel like, in a way, you also think, man, if someone says something fucking stupid to me, then I'm just going to say something really stupid back to them. I feel like you're also kind of, in a way, hurting your own feelings. Like, I don't want to do this because I know if someone says something stupid, I'm going to snap. I don't think anyone is. I think people kind of feel that energy about you right now, kind of feel that tension. Yeah, the Seven of Cups right here, that's all an illusion. That's in your head, all right? I don't think anyone is going to look at it from a negative perspective for you. So let me look at your rune cards. This could also just be, you calling your mother, or calling, a feminine energy who is very motherly, someone who cares about you, someone who wants to talk to you, someone who just is there. You have Sowilu, sun, vitality, good health, good fortune, happiness, spiritual meanings, blessings, and wholeness. So you got the sun card coming out twice. Got double clarification of the angels. I feel like it's all in your head. Fehe, achieve a goal, attract money, succeed in business, attain a promotion or a new job. So I do see it, working out, but you do have to put in the energy and the effort to take a look at that situation and then reach out again. For example, maybe you got denied for, I've heard of this happening for people. Sometimes people, when they apply for food stamps, the food stamp company will be like, or the government agency will be like, you make $1 over, and they won't give people the food stamps, right? I feel like that's what this is. And I feel like you're really struggling, especially with, maybe the way the prices are going. And maybe this is, you've applied 2 or 3 times maybe. And this is your final straw. You're like, I don't see anything. I don't see a way out of this. I feel like I'm really, really suffering. I feel like someone is going to really look at the situation and be like, $1? Really? They're not going to give it to you because of $1? Because, like, for real, if it was me, I would like, $1. I'm not saying I'm a good person, but there are people who are like me, and, certain things will be like $1. And, so yeah, I feel like that's what this situation is. I feel like someone is just going to use their logic over their, over the BS. Because there are a lot of people who like to, be stickler about the rules, but at the end of the day, human suffering over rules, that doesn't equate. If someone is suffering, that overrides the rule, all right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, Cancer, and I'll talk to you later.